Labor Day marks the end of summer and the real beginning of the presidential race. Despite 330 million other Americans as options, it appears right now Donald Trump and Joe Biden will get their party's nominations right now. And one of the reasons for that is the sheer number of Republicans in the race. Trump's lead is formidable, but not insurmountable. We learned that from 2016, though, that Trump versus the field, a large field, he likely wins. Trump versus one person, it's a different choice. Does change the race. To that end, the National Review just wrote, "Drop out Asa Hutchinson." Asa Hutchinson is a fine public servant who never should have run for president and is unfortunately demonstrating every day, or at least every time someone remembers he is running. With us now, Arkansas's former governor, Asa Hutchinson. The National Review thing I don't think is fair. We'll get to it in a minute. But in a larger sense, right, at what point does the large group of Republicans who either want to be an alternative Donald Trump or view Donald Trump as an existential threat in this continuum have to coalesce around one person? What's the drop-dead date to give the American people, to give Republicans a choice?
Well, it's down the road. Everybody wants to see the end of the book. They want to see the finale before we actually get to the second chapter. And we're in the second chapter of this race. And so let's give the voters a chance. And as I've said, this is one of the most unpredictable. It is the most unpredictable political season in my lifetime. Nobody knows how this is going to turn out. You compare it to 2016, you didn't have 4 indictments in 2016. You didn't have the turmoil that you have now. You didn't have the age of the 2 leading candates that you had in 2016.
You didn't have the current president under investigation, our son under investigation. We can go down the list. No, look, this is sort of a wild time in America. Granted, why do you think, in times of such enormous turmoil, does a man who very successfully led Arkansas, I remember talking to you for a long time while you were governor, grew that state's economy, had huge successes there, huge successes in terms of bringing people together and not going to create crazy land on either end of the culture wars. Why is someone sort of so oddly normal, so under polling or unable to get any traction among Americans who say they're fed up with the craziness?
Well, I'm doing this because it's extremely important to our country. There's a lot at stake, both for the Republican Party, but our country most importantly. And whenever you look at the debate that we just had, we got a bump out of that. We're going to qualify for the second debate that's coming up in the Reagan Library. And that was my first opportunity to introduce myself to America as a former governor, as someone who served in high positions on national security issues. And so that's the first opportunity. We haven't got into paid media yet. And so we're going to qualify also in terms of the polling numbers. So whenever you look at, we had 12 or more candidates. We had 8 on the debate stage. We'll see how many we have in Simi Valley at the next debate. But I think it's going to naturally come together and consolidate.
So Francis Suarez, who was not on the debate stage, then dropped out. You make the point that things are so unpredictable because of Donald Trump's 4 indictments. Yet we've seen time and time again, but even more assertively this time, him defy political gravity, which is you get indicted, you go spend time with your family. You don't go up in the polls as he has. You don't continue to get huge fundraising hauls. Do you really hope that, do you believe that you can change the minds of even 25% of the people who are supporting him right now?
I don't know how this is going to play out.
Okay.
But I know that we can't win in 2024 with Donald Trump leading the ticket. I know that there's too much controversy. I know that he will not lead our country in the right direction whenever he has a revenge agenda ahead of him. And so we have to have a change. Now,
forgive the interruption, aren't those 2 different arguments, though? And I've heard the argument he can't win. Although right now, when you poll it, which is the only metric we have, he either ties Biden, and in a lot of swing states is well within the margin of error. He really can win. People said that in 2016. He can't win. He did. Aren't those 2 different arguments?
Well, the argument is he can't win. You're saying the polling is going to be static and it's going to be the way it is now 6 months from now. I saying here that I don't believe that's the case.
Okay, but why? Why is it going to change? Every indictment, he's gone up in polling, he's gone up in fundraising. What's going to change that trend?
Well, what will change that trend is as people realize that he is not going to be successful. You're going to see his numbers go down over time. I've been to Iowa. You were there at the Iowa State Fair, and the polling does not reflect the conversations you have on the ground.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.